Hey, welcome to Unstoppable Agents. This is the show where we help people build their business, build their wealth, and build a life of impact and significance. I'm super excited to have Sean Kundra from Saskatchewan with me. I'm just getting to know Sean, and I know you're going to have a blast getting to know Sean too. Man, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brian, for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to it.
So why don't we just jump right in? First, tell us more about you, like where you're at, and really walk us into your real estate journey.
Yeah, awesome. I can definitely. So, yeah, I think I'm one of those guys actually didn't plan anything for real estate. Actually, I got laid off from my job, and then I was looking for different opportunities, and then somebody told me about getting a license. So yeah, I looked into it, and I thought, oh yeah, I love meeting new people and making new connections. So this job will perfectly fit for me. Yeah, I got my license, and then I got to know that I have to pay monthly fees and everything. And even if you make a deal, you're still gonna have some expenses. So took some time. I did some savings, and later on, I decided to jump in. I started with a small brokerage in my town, in my city. And the purpose was to have as low expenses as possible.
Okay.
I think it was a real struggle, actually. I think when originally, so I did got my license, but they didn't tell me practically how to write an offer or something, and it was real struggle. And all the mentorship, actually, I think nobody was really there to help, because they always sees you as your competition, and there was no what's their benefit in that. And then so I did some mistakes and here and there, and it took some time to learn. And later on, I think I got to know the drill, how it works and everything, learned the hard way. And then later on, I think then the COVID hit. I think then the real estate market got busy, and that was an opportunity, and I was working hard for it. And then I think, I was doing good sales and everything. And so I think I achieved that part. So actually I was aiming for making deals, sales, and then in 2020 I was there was about 36 agents in my brokerage.
Okay.
And actually I got the number one spot for the volume and number of deals.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I was the youngest one, actually. And I said, what's next now? That's there. Another thing was, I think we really worked hard to make money, but as a real estate agent, you didn't get time to enjoy that, because on weekends or when you're on vacation, your phone is ringing and everything, right? I think so. I took a 1 month vacation, I think in 2021, and I went back home. Actually, I'm originally from India. My parents lived there. So I think when I came back, I realized I had lost almost 5 or 6 deals, and I said, what's the solution? And then I tried to look into talk to other people or forming a team or something. And then I think nobody was really ready. And I was why should somebody work under me? And what's in their best interest? And what's the platform gonna look like? And so all that didn't really succeed in that. So I was looking into all other alternatives, and I think I was just thinking about what's next. And then somebody introduced me about EXP Realty, and I think, this is fun. I think this is something exciting, actually. I think it's real estate is not boring anymore. We still have, I think,
making real estate fun again. Yeah.
So actually, and then I got to know about EXP. I think even I did know in the past about EXP, but nobody really, I was this is not gonna work for me, and really looked into it. But when I looked into it, I said, this is the future, and really saw the growth in it. And a lot of people were joining from all over. And I was really impressed with the worldwide presence. I think there was a lot of learning, actually. I think there was a lot of mentorship. I think that was the main thing. And also the revenue share model. I think I was also we are not an employer, we are not employer. We are self-employed people. So the day we stop running, our income stops right away. So we cannot build even if you work for 10 years, 20, 30. So I think nobody...
I think about it. Most real estate agents just create another high-paying job for themselves. It's still a job, rather than if you look at E-Myth, or if you look at the 4 quadrants, right? So you could be an employee, you could be self-employed, you can be the employer, or you can have your money work for you. And EXP is a great model where it helps you create wealth. So I want to go back to when you got started. So how long ago was that?
Actually, that was in 2018.
Okay. So just 4 years in business, and man, you've gone from 4 years, a little more than 4 years in business, to being the top agent at your other brokerage. You've come to EXP and become an icon, which is the top award that we have to offer. That's amazing. You built and you did that in your first year at EXP. So you haven't even gotten your anniversary. Congratulations.
Well, yeah, no, thank you, Brian. I think that's really exciting. And I think every day there's new thing to learn. There's new challenges, but there's excitement for sure.
We go back to when you were starting your business. If you were to give advice to somebody starting fresh, other than joining EXP, what advice would you give them to start and build their business?
I think so. Whenever you're starting your business, I think first of all, I think you need to learn how that things work, and I think there's no comparison to have a mentor or a mentorship. I think, and I can assure you, I think it's just the EXP system, the way they have built it. I think it's just a system. Actually, I think the mentorship you're gonna get at EXP Realty, I think there's no comparison to any other brokerage, and it can take you forever to learn those things, which people at EXP Realty are just providing you at free of cost. And I think there's a lot of learning material. It just should be ready to put out efforts, and so limitless, I think, where you can go up to.
Yeah, you mentioned something earlier that I want to make sure and go back to is you talked about how in your previous brokerage, how people were your competitors. So nobody really wanted to help you because they were competitors. How's your experience been in your first year at EXP? Do you find that people are competitive or more cooperative?
Yeah, I think it's way different than my previous brokerage. I think as you mentioned, everybody see you as a competition, and nobody was really there to help. And it's such a bad feeling, and you feel so helpless. You're really willing to learn, but nobody there to help. But I think EXP is just, I think everybody's there to help. I think it's just one click away. You just text them, message them. People are ready to make time for you, and they want to see your success. And I think it's such a beautiful environment. It's fun environment, and I think it's such a good environment to work in, actually.
Yeah, and what I love about everybody's so collaborative. Like a lot of times we ask agents kind of what's the one word used to describe EXP, and it's collaborative. And the reason for that is because we're all owners. Right, you described it earlier. So we're not just a bunch of employees, we're all owners in the company. So when any of us are successful, stock price goes up, the value of the company goes up. And because we're owners, all of our value. So I'm super excited for you in Saskatchewan. I'm in Texas. I'm terrible at geography. I don't even know where Saskatchewan is, except that it's in Canada. And I'm excited for you. I do actually, but I'm
it's just north of North Dakota.
Yeah. It's so great. So you're an icon there. You've built a large business there. How many people are in Saskatchewan? What's the population?
Actually, we do have about 1.1 million people in total.
Okay, so it's a big city. Yeah.
The whole province, actually, so I'm in my city name is Regina. So there are about 225,000 people, I think, in Regina actually. So it's not a big of city, but it's still good. Yeah.
That's awesome. Which again tells you my Canadian geography expertise.
Yeah.
So you've built a good business in a relatively small town, 225,000.
Exactly,
so good for you. Where does your business come from?
So actually, my business, I mostly work with my buyers. I think a larger portion of my sales are buyers actually, and I do take customer service very seriously. So I think it's just my sphere of influence actually.
Okay.
I think so. I'm involved in my community, and if there's any chance I get to volunteer, I'm there. So a lot of business comes from my community, and I think, that's pretty much it, I think. And now I'm focusing on generating more leads. And also when I joined EXP, later on, within a few months, I formed a team. It's called Matrix Real Estate Group. And actually, we're a group of 6 people in our team actually now. And 5 people are in Regina, and 1 person is in our neighboring province, Alberta, actually.
Awesome. What made you want to form a team?
So actually, as I previously mentioned, I think we really work hard to have a good lifestyle, and then later on you realize you got money in your pockets, and that hard, you put so much effort to earn. You want to enjoy it, and when you're on vacation, your phone is ringing, and let's say you're away for some time, and then once you come back, you realize that the client you're working from last 2 years or 1 year, like they ended up buying a house with somebody else. So that was a disappointment, right? And so actually I came up with the idea of forming a team just to help each other, like whenever somebody needs it. So let's say if you're away for a vacation or if there's any emergency, anything, I think the other people in the team, they are ready to support. So we built a structure actually which compensate each other. And so at the end of the day, like everyone is happy. And it's such a good environment. We just help each other. There's so many, like hundreds of other agents working in the same industry, in the same city. We just thought about why not we help each other to grow.
There are so many different ways. One of the things I love about EXP is there's so many different ways to join a team or to build a team, right? So you could be a traditional team with a team leader. You could be a self-organized team, which is really just a bunch of people using the same brand name and collaborating. There's mega teams, and then there's just organizations building through revenue share. So if you had to put you guys into a bucket, what kind of team, or where do you fall in that spectrum?
Yeah, we fall into that self-organized team structure.
Okay. Yeah.
So we don't have like fixed rule structure or anything, and there's no like monthly any structure like that. Everything is, yes, everybody is pretty independent, and I think it's just we just fall under the same umbrella. Just we aim to help each other to grow their business, and like if our team grows, that means we grow as well.
And you can build a brand. You can build a brand that way too. So you talked about being involved in your community and doing business from your sphere of influence. Is there, do you have any advice for somebody who wants to build a sphere of influence business? That's, by the way, we love that. That's the way we run our team here as well. It's real estate is a relationship sales business. But do you have any advice for somebody if they wanted to build or grow their business?
Yeah. So I think every person has few things which make them happy. So I think it was never intentional for me to be involved in my community and all that. So I think these were few things which always made me happy. And I was always involved in my community. And that was actually the main reason. I think somebody said, hey, you're involved in community, a lot of people, and why don't you start in real estate? I said, like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I think it was just a natural thing for me that made me happy, and being involved in my community and being out there. But yeah, I think it's just we are in people business, I think, and if somebody gonna do good in real estate, I think they definitely have to be involved with other people if they get a chance.
I like to say that real estate is a contact sport. You got to make contact with a lot of people and build a relationship with a lot of people to grow a real estate business.
That is correct. Yeah.
So you mentioned a big name there, and I just want to ask. So do you have a coach in the business? Do you coach with someone?
No, right now actually. I think so. I'm part of Game Changers group. I think in EXP Realty, and I think so. They do have a weekly trainings, and I think all the people, I think experienced people, I think they come and share their views and how they build their business and everything. And I think you just take time and listen to those people, and there's tons and tons of information out there. Just get to know that information, implement in your daily life, and then I think that will definitely make you successful.
Yeah, it's amazing the opportunity at EXP. So there's now something like 80 hours a week of live training just that the company offers. Right? So now as an icon, I teach classes. You've got that opportunity now as well. There's so many different people teaching. But then like our family, we have something called Family Tree, where we have something like 6 or 8 hours a week of live training just at our group. It's directly, whether it's team building or sphere of influence or lead conversion. There's just so much personalized training because back to we're owners. We all want, your group, we want you guys to be successful. And that's why we're doing these interviews, because I think many of the folks that watch this are going to be at EXP and just want to. And then we want to make sure that folks that aren't at EXP know that there's just a tremendous amount of free training and coaching that's available to them.
Yeah, no, I really want to thank Glenn Sanford who came up with this beautiful model. And I think everybody is like owner in that company. And I think they just feel like it's their own company, and everybody's just out there to build this brand and just work hard for it, just share their like knowledge, whatever they have gained from so many years. And I think it's just a great system, whatever they have built, and I just love it.
That's awesome. I normally ask for parting words, but I don't know how we get better than thanks, Glenn. And I love the company. So Sean, I'm gonna wrap up with that. Thank you for taking some time and joining us today. It was terrific. We really appreciate you joining us. And congrats on hitting Icon in your first year at EXP.
Thank you so much, Brian. It was really wonderful talking to you.